Mani Ratnam is the man who revolutionized Tamil cinema in the 80s.
அப்பா
His movies are experimental at the same time within the commercial format. And he is today one of the most respected directors in the country. His dialogues are famous as they are short and sweet.
நீயா விரும்பி கேட்டது ஒண்ணு, நானா விரும்பி கொண்டு வந்தது ஒண்ணு.
Mani Ratnam movies are technically superb. They are beautifully photographed with songs and unique backlighting. And some of the scenes are often picturized in a critical moment in rain or in a train. Ratnam has dealt with a wide variety of topics, from the classic Indian love story to political thrillers.
I am very much proud of you. உன்னை பார்த்தா எனக்கு ரொம்ப பெருமையா இருக்கு.
He is one of the very rare Indian directors who has hardly shot in foreign locales. Most movies of his have been made within India. He has introduced Oscar-winning music director A.R. Rahman and many other technicians to Indian cinema. If you cannot tell a story within 3 minutes, it is not a story, is what Mani Ratnam's mantra is all about.
Welcome to Red Carpet, Mani sir.
Thank you, Sreedhar.
Yeah, you've been rocking all these.
Yeah, if you say so.
How's OK Kanmani shaped out to be?
Good, it's completed, ready for release, all set.
And how is the story evolved? Because you're the king of romance. In way you're presented all your movies. The romance element is very strong. How is it here?
No, it's a relationship film, and the relationship in this film is between this guy and the girl. You know, and both of them, Adi and Tara, are this generation.
Yeah.
You know, a contemporary who have a mind of their own, and who have have clear views of what they want and what they don't want. You know,
Okay.
so it really tries to capture them and to see beyond their front, beyond their surface.
So you have come out way back in the 80s also with what was romance at that time. Then the Roja, everything, there's a subtle amount of romance in all your films. The undercurrent is always romance. How come you choose this kind of scripts? Or
Not really. I mean, I think there are a lot of films in between which you skipped. I think which all have other kinds of emotion.
yeah, but you for me my favorite film still remains Iruva. But there also there also undercurrent of romance between Mohanlal and Aishwarya Rai. It's been one of so beautiful.
I think that's true for life, isn't it? I think, you know, a man-woman relation, that's where human beings or any, this one is built, the DNA is built for human beings to be attracted to the opposite sex. I mean, that is a part of our you know, growth. It's a part of our survival. You know? So that will be integral in for anybody's life. When you capture a film, which is a nutshell of a life, then it kind of gets highlighted.
Yeah, but your romance, you worked it out so aesthetically in film after film. How is it in OK Kanmani?
It is today. It is today, and it is really not that you are trying to capture romance in a particular way. You're just trying to capture two characters and their relationship, and that defines the kind of romance that they will have. You know that Adi will behave in a certain fashion, what kind of a guy he is, and you know what kind of a person Tara is, and that she has strong views and that she has, you know, comes with a background. So they decide what kind of the characters take over, and they decide how it should go.
Okay. But how different is it from Maunaragam, Roja or Alaipaide?
It will be different in that attitude at that time is different from the attitude in, you know, say between Maunaragam and Alaipaide, the attitude was
okay. So
quite
that
different.
period, every period has its own.
Its own, you know, with the way the children are brought up, the way we educate them, the way
Our
we are
values.
allowed to think, and you know, the way we are allowed to express themselves and to lead their own lives, to take their footstep, to take the next bold step, to be there, compete, to take to work, and not just be a role that you're supposed to do, has changed in the last 20 years. You know what? No, Divya Maunaragam would not have openly said. You know, Tara of OK Kanmani will not bat an eyelid saying. You know, so but that doesn't mean that the values have gone away. That's what the film is trying to say. That beneath the surface, maybe the values are still there. Maybe we are all still the same. We have exteriors which change, the surface that change, but beneath it we can still be the people of this soil.
அடிக்கடி இப்படி தான் பொண்ணுங்க பின்னாடி சுத்துறியா?
A lot of after the trailer was screened, there's a feeling that it is Alaypaide 2. Your comments on that?
Yeah, it could be in the sense.
Is it a sequel?
No, it is not. That's what I was trying to say. That if it was, we would have called it Alaypaide sequel. Alaypaide sequel, it in turn mean that it's an extension of the characters.
Yeah.
It is really Karthik and Shakti that would have gone.
Yeah.
This is a completely different set of people. Different set, a complete different background, set entirely in Bombay, and their attitude is totally different from what they had at Alaypaide.
Maybe that train shot was misleading.
Yeah, I think that also brings in a certain amount of nostalgia. We were aware of it when we put it in the trailer, but that is not the film. I mean, the film is not few shots. The film is these two characters. And that will come through in the film. So.
Yeah, maybe probably because of the suburban train and its connection with the Bombay.
Yeah.
So, is it more a corporate story, or is it more corporate love story or something like that?
No, it's not. I think 2-3 days, Sreedhar. That's all it will take before it's not a corporate love story. It is a love story of two urban youngsters, meeting. It's set completely in Bombay, and it's today's generation, about their dreams, about what they want to do with life, what they want to do with commitment, and what they don't want to do with it, and how they change through the course of the film.
So we can expect something totally different from Alaypaide as far as the narration.
You can see a 15-year difference.
15-year difference?
The way the characters are thinking, the way they're moving, the way they are reacting to society, everything is changing.
I was very impressed with that particular song put up in that room. No? That duet. How did you picturize that? Because I think your art director has done a great job.
Yeah, lovely. She's a wonderful art director, amazing art director.
Yeah, but is it your most bold scene? Because a lot of people are also saying that in that particular song, maybe the boldest Mani Ratnam song ever.
Is that so? No, not necessarily. I mean, I don't know what they mean by bold, if that is what they mean. No, it is not. It is just the fact that I've restricted the song to inside the room is all that matters. I mean, the film deals really with the mind. With what you feel, what you are, and what you actually are. It really deals with that and dichotomy.
Okay.
So it's not so much about the physical relationship. It's not so much about breaking barriers or taboos of any such thing. Which in a way, if you look at this generation today, it's really not a big leap of faith for them to do what they want to do. They just do it. So it just talks the way they are. I mean, I'm sure anyone who can see it will identify with it.
Okay, then why did the censors give it an UA certificate?
I think it's a good question to ask the censor. I asked the same question. I said, why?
What was their answer?
Why? They are, I think there's some set of rules, rules or predetermined notion, which playing it safe and saying that it deals with a certain theme and not looking at it as a film and not looking at it as a whole, but just say that it touches on living and therefore it's not for kids.
Okay.
And I remember, like I was telling them also, the same thing happened with Maunaragam. When that film came in the censor board, they wanted to give it an adult certificate.
Wow.
Because the woman asked for a divorce.
Oh, those days divorce was bad.
So I was telling them that is what happened with Maunaragam. There's one or few members who had to, would say that it has to be, it can't be, the children can't see a woman asking for a divorce. And I mean, so it is just sometimes a personal prejudice gets carried over onto
But
a
don't you
board.
think the censor laws also should be changed? I mean, after Maunaragam, it's almost 30 years, almost 30 years.
Yeah, and it's not a new theme in the sense. I mean, there's several Hindi films. That
Yes,
have been
several
made,
Hindi
and
films.
So all that were cleared, and it's just that their attitude seems to be. I tried talking, I tried convincing, I tried my best. It didn't work, so I accepted. It's part of the law. It's just time that we had a relook at the way we people censor. Taking it makes it look like the filmmakers one. Somebody who had to be standing in front of a headmaster and somebody will tell him that, okay, this time excuse you, go. Next time. No, it's really ridiculous, that the industry has been there for so long.
Yeah.
The creative freedom of any other art is not given to this. It's really pathetic. I think it's time they trusted that we can take care of ourselves.
சத்தியமா நான் கல்யாணம் பண்ணிக்கவே மாட்டேன்.
ஒன்லி கேர்ள் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸா?
Only girlfriends.
We are doing this interview in Sing Sound, and the film is also in Sing Sound.
Yes.
Why do you go for Sing Sound, Mani sir?
It is wonderful. It's such a pleasure doing it in Sing Sound. I think
But you have to have controlled atmosphere for.
You have to. That's just an effort that goes in. It is not just that you need to take a few more steps to do that instead of being lazy. But the life that you get out of it, and if you have artists who speak the language well, then you don't have an issue. You can go for it. And this film has a lot of, though the sequence which we shot outdoor, on the streets, had to be dubbed later because there was a lot of noises. But all the other scenes were, shot on Sing Sound.
So everybody spoke there.
Yeah, Dulkar, Nitya, Prakash, everybody spoke. Leela Samson, everybody spoke.
Oh, Leela also.
Yeah.
எங்க அம்மாவை நாளைக்கு வர சொல்லட்டுமா?
ஏன்?
வீட்டில் பார்த்து பேச வேணாமா? நிச்சயம் பண்ண வேணாமா?
நிச்சயமா.
And what's your comment on the social media and its influence on today's filmmakers?
I think it's tremendous. I think social media is there. There's nothing, you can't close your eyes and pretend that it's not there. It is there, and everybody has an opinion. People always had opinions. Only today the opinions are open, and it's exchanged, and it is multiplied several times.
So you're saying it's part of life, you got to be.
You are in this world, and no one promised you a rose garden. You have to go with it.
You have to move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to do what you do well and get hope for the best.
Does reviews upset you?
In this sense, normally I try to stay away from it for a while, don't get into it. I said I've worked on it for 1.5 years with all effort. Okay, now it is out. I think reviews is just a glimpse of what the audience feels. What the audience feel is very important. Whether I've been able to communicate it right or not is revealed in that. If I've not communicated it effectively, then I have to learn from that. I don't normally doubt whether the concept itself is wrong because I take the concept after a lot of thought over it. So if there has been there's been a fall in this conversion into cinema. So I see that predominantly. And sometimes the reviews help you to see that, that where that gap came between the thought and the actual execution. So it helps. If it doesn't help, if you don't agree with it, you just leave it. Don't let it bother you. You don't have to necessarily, take each one of them seriously. It's an individual's opinion, and each individual is entitled to their opinion.
How important is box office for you?
It's very important because that's the only thing that will let you make the next film. So it is important enough. Also, I'm from my first film, I've been making films in the mainstream. For me, it is important that I make films which will reach people, which will connect with people. I'm not making a film only for myself. I'm making for myself.
What you're saying, you don't want to be saying that you're an art house director. Or
I'm not. I just feel that that you can make mainstream films with sensibility, with realism inside it, and with details inside it. Things that go into an art film can be brought into the mainstream, which is what all of us are trying, in a lot of ways, So I still believe in that. And for that, it is important for the mainstream film to work.
So song and dance is ingredient part of commercial cinema today?
No, I don't think that's a rule. I mean, songs are there. I think it's a big advantage to an Indian film to have songs, that it gives you a platform to go abstract, and it also helps you to, in a way, it's a teaser for the entire film. It just promises things that which without showing it visually to the audience in a form. I mean, so it helps both ways. But it's changing now. The duration of the film has to come down now. Audience attention span is reduced. So we have to learn to build it into the space.
Earlier you had songs for song's sake.
No, not really. Earlier it was a kind of an emotional up. We took the liberty of going abstract. I mean, songs like in Aleipaide, for example, can take off because somebody is feeling elated, and that elation was brought across in choreography, in colors, and in different locations and things like that. And now we've tried to bring that elation through realistic terms only, without having.
So your songs are very realistic and Kanmani. You don't have a choreographer choreographing.
Right, we don't.
First time, Mani sir?
In sense, first time,
Yeah, for you, I'm asking.
Possibly. But we still had Brinda doing one number that you saw on the in the room. That was choreographed, but it was like not not like a song choreography. It's just like two people.
But there the more importance was given to the set, the camera, and like you said, the atmosphere was created for that.
That's the kind of work this film has got.
And you're having Leela Samson and Dulquer. Tell us first about Dulquer. Why did you take Dulquer for this role?
I think I met him at an audio function here, and something about him made him look, like somebody you can relate to, the youngster of today. Smart, still, reachable, still, very warm. And so I thought, look good.
He's a handsome hunk, but what do you really mean about his acting and
so that is the one reason why I first met him. It was an impression. So when I had a script, I called him, asked him if he could come, and then I sat and shared the script with him. And when you narrate a story, you know whether you will be able to connect with that person or not.
Okay.
That's the time you assess whether it works between the two.
Because
of you.
so far all your films, the casting has been terrific.
I think he's wonderful. I think his actor is just superb. So different from the way his father acts that it's fantastic.
Yeah, you are one of the few lucky persons who have done father and son.
Yeah.
So how what?
பிரமண ஒரு பொழப்பானா அது பொழப்பானா மாட்டானா சொல்ல முடியாது.
And how's your thing with A.R. Rahman? 23 years, 14 films, still going strong. And the songs are top, as usual, the chartbusters.
He's a very director-friendly composer. He's really director-friendly.
But you get the best out of him?
Because I think we are in similar wavelength. We want to try something different. We are not looking at safety. We are not looking at, say, we'll have 3 songs which are definite, and we want each one to like it's the only song in the film. I mean, so he's open to drastic experiments, and I'm open to drastic experiments. So it kind of even if one is trying to go back, the other will push it up. So it kind of helps each other. I think it keeps us alive. Keeps it like the first film. We still don't know when we start how we are getting, and songs evolve as we go. And it's not in him to settle so easily. Especially if it's a tough song where you pushed him, he will push himself much more.
Okay. And what about you have turned lyric writer? Congratulations.
No, it was just a film. Stand-in.
But I mean, that song is a chartbuster, is a number one.
Anyone would have written it would have been a chartbuster because I think the tune was so good, so peppy, and it's Rahman and me jam.
Actually, if you look at the charts, the Mental is the one which is rocking the charts.
We did Endrendrum Punnage also like this before from Malipaide. So it's just that Vairmuthu was not there. It would have been a far superior song if he had written it. It's just that he was not there, so we had to do. And we did something very flippant, very, no different from the way it was, like how the character would have said it, assessed it. That's how we do. It's not written like a lyric, it's written more like the character.
Tell us something about PC Sreedhar from Agni Natchatram to, he's
Nayakan from Mauniragam.
cameraman, you're reuniting after so many years.
To me, they're not just cinematographers, they are part of the team of the entire film. That's what I think.
Do they give inputs to you?
Yeah. I think I use them like direction department. They are my first bounce sports. Anything that I have, they are the ones with whom I trust on performances, on whether this take was good or not. These days, at least, you have a monitor where you can see what is being shot.
Yeah.
In days when we were doing for so many years, it was only the cameraman who saw it through the lens. And he could see it at a telly. Sometimes we were far away and he's seeing it at a magnification where only he can see the details. So when I've done the rehearsal, I'll come back and he's watching, I'm sitting next to him. So I look up at him and ask him whether it was okay with it. No, he did the job, and it is that trust that I have in them.
So it's sort of a conscience keeper for you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is the only person in the entire place where I would turn to and check out a new idea, check out whether it is okay. If the cameraman had been different for a film, if it was not PC and Santosh for the film would look different.
Yeah, it will have a different...
Not only look, it will be a different film. So that their input is not just the visual, just the cinematography, but their input is much more. I mean, they're an integral part of the film.
Mani, your dialogues are really good in your films. How do you get your dialogues so well, especially about the young people? How do you know about the life of young people?
And my dialogues are not really dialogues; they are just spoken words.
Exactly.
Like how it's an exchange, and it is just staying in touch. I don't take an extra effort in terms of trying to make it sound young. I think the youth is in the thought. It's not so much in the words. Words are very easy to get the flavor with a few words, but it's a thought process that we have to, be in sync with. That gives a glimpse of their minds. So as long as you have that, when you have a character and you're able to get into that, then it becomes easy. You know how Tara will behave, what she will say. I think the first few scenes you write of her gives you the clarity as to who Tara is, and then art takes over.
Okay. And in the dialogues itself, you said your dialogues are very short. Do you have a bound script, or do you follow a bound script pattern?
Yeah, I do. I write it several times. Actually, we do a lot of iterations before we go to the set. But as a director, I'm not totally rigid.
You are not bound to the
the script is bound. I'm not bound.
So
that is what I think is the job as a director, to work with actors to make what is written here come alive there. And come alive is what we struggle for. We don't know what will make it alive, but you constantly search for it and for that truth to come out of that scene.
Okay. I believe you're playing a lot of golf to keep yourself fit. Tell us something about your passion. Golf is a passion with you?
I think it's a game sport which I like, and it's.
Maddie introduced you to golf?
He did. He dragged me to the golf club, and I always thought it was meant for old men. So I never thought I would ever take it up. I thought tennis was good, till he forcibly took me there and made me a member, and got hooked very easily. It's a very elusive game. If it felt that you were not going to be good at it, very easy to give it up. But it's just there. You know that you can get it, but it's just out of your reach. So you're constantly attempting to get perfect at it. It's in a lot of ways it's like filmmaking. You keep coming back saying next time I'll get it right.
Okay. What's your handicap?
10.
That's very good. That was nice talking to you, Mani sir.
Thanks.
Great talk.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.